Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got some done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up in their names, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's...
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about a lifestyle for a single young bachelor, not necessarily like myself, but just for those out there who understand not only the struggles that come with dating, the freedom that's taken away, but also the blessings that come with dating, with meeting somebody else that cares for you, wants the best for you, and is willing to do and go above and beyond for you, right? There are so many positives to dating, but there's also some negatives that can come with it. And we're going to talk about the law and how it can affect our lives as well. So, for example, if you are successful, man or woman, the law states that once you get married, especially if there's no prenup, that your partner is entitled to half of everything that you have worked for and accumulated. Now, even with a prenup, that is not going to prevent people from being able to access your 401k, Roth IRA, pension, and retirement funds, especially depending on the length of the marriage. And so prenups are not ironclad as much as people think they are. Now, with that being said, I also want to let you know that there are certain ways that you can mitigate the loss. So prenups can be helpful, but if it looks too one-sided, a judge can easily toss that out. But if somebody has a 401k, Roth IRA, or a pension plan similar to your own, there is more of a likelihood that a prenup will stand in which you take your 401k, they take their 401k, and nobody has to split the asset itself. But if it's lopsided, like there was a stay-at-home father and there was a working woman, obviously a working woman would have to pay either some spousal support or give up something in order to compensate this person for taking care of the household. And so 9 times out of 10, or I should say 8 times out of 10, the woman is filing for divorce. The main thing is financial hardships and financial difficulties. Number 3 is infidelity. Number 2 is irreconcilable differences. And all that means is that, hey, I fell out of love with you and you weren't there for me, or sometimes you were there for me, but you just didn't make me feel special, make me feel good. And I got tired of the same old, same old. I got bored. I got fed up. I feel like there's more for me out there. I feel like I can do better. And that is exactly why we're splitting up. And in that semblance, a lot of the time it's not going to be the men that want to go through that, because not only did they invest their money, but they invested their time. They tried to mold, they tried to grow, they tried to do everything in their power in order to make you the person that they wanted you to be, not only for yourself, but for them. And because of that investment, it's like, wow, you're not only watching your stocks, not only watching your assets be deteriorated, but you're watching the person that you invested so much time into walk out of your life and potentially take the children as well. And so why do I talk about that? Why am I acting as if everybody goes through this? Because not everybody does. Only 50% of people will ever go through this. That means if there is 2 people in one room, there's only one of you that's going to go through this issue. The other one will be just fine. And when I say the other one will be just fine, that doesn't mean that there's not headaches. That doesn't mean that there's not times where they'll have to compromise. Because in any relationship, you have to compromise. But they're just able to work through that because of their values, because of their principles, because of their beliefs, or maybe because they feel like they have no other option, man or woman, right? And so because of that, party number 2 is going to stick together. Now, young bachelor or young bachelorette may decide, hey, instead of potentially losing half of my wealth, maybe I won't go the marriage route. Maybe I'll have a white wedding, which just means a marriage under God. Maybe I will have a traditional wedding, which means a cultural wedding is more like a festival, more like a party, more like a celebration. Or maybe I'll just have a life partner, somebody that I do life with, somebody who is willing to stick with me till death do us part without the court or the government getting involved. Somebody who is willing to stick with me for me and not because of the materials that I have or anything else. And so in that sequence, there are so many things that are available as options, but the most traditional option is marriage. That is what most women have clamored for their entire life, but it's also what most women will opt out of quickly when they see it going the other way. And so why do we talk about this on the financial or relationship channel? Why don't we just talk about the beauties of a relationship, like growing? Not only does the partner grow in understanding, respect, patience, but they also grow in the ability to provide, lead, protect as a man and as a woman, to nurture, care, and understand the opposite sex. Right? Why don't we just talk about those things? Because as a person, we will also evolve. And what is the cost of evolution? Right? Nobody factors that in. The cost of evolution. Well, depending on the person, it can be very costly or it can be very cheap. And the more money you make, the more costly it can be. And so the cost of evolution does not only happen in the divorce case. In fact, even in relationships, you're going to invest, you're going to spend money, you're going to spend time, you're going to go above and beyond in order to mold the person into who you want to be. And that's not just for the men. Now, women like to mold their men too. Hey, I don't want your hair that way. I don't want your abs that way. I need you to go to the gym. I need you to do this. Yes, it's on both sides. And so understand that people are looking for their ideal spectrum. If they're willing to communicate what they're wanting from you, then it's best that you absolutely listen, because, hey, the better you are for them, the more likely it is that they'll just want you and only you. But we all know that infidelity is real, because it's the number 3 thing that people get divorced for. And it's not just on men, right? It's on women as well. And in fact, studies show that women cheat more than men. They're just better at it. And so, when it comes to that as well, I had to learn the hard way, because I personally opted out of marriage. I got to learn how good people are at lying, and maybe they feel as though they're telling the truth. Maybe they feel as though they would never cheat. Maybe they feel as though they would never lie. Maybe they feel as though they would never leave. You don't know how many times I've heard, if I got married, I would never walk away. I would never walk away. But the truth is, is that a lot of them do. The truth is, a lot of feelings change. The truth is, a better opportunity may arise. And when that does happen, I'm always proven right. So if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I post on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify for podcasters. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Peace.